Welcome back to Sports Tonight. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. And you can be part of the program by talking to us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Channels_Sports, Facebook, Channels-Sports. Guys, it's 85 more days, 85 more days to the 2018 FIFA World Cup. I'm feeling the fever already. The moment I saw the World Cup trophy, Christian Karimbo lifted it, and something in me says, what if it comes back? Maybe. Our Prophet Daniel Amokachi says it is coming back. That discussion we've been having since yesterday. And some persons also believe that Nigeria can make a statement at the World Cup. Austin Eguavoen played at the World Cup. Why not? He didn't play at the World Cup, but played qualifiers and played for the Super Eagles. And as a strong defender that he was in his time, he understands the need to have a good goalkeeper. So let's go to Wahid Akoni. Goalkeeping. How important is it for him? Because at this first thing first, do we have a goalkeeper for the World Cup?
Well, I think we have a goalkeeper, but what is the quality we're talking about now? Can this goalkeeper, come out, bring out the best in him when these games happen?
What are you talking about?
Well, we saw the last 2 games or so Nigeria played. The one against Argentina. We saw the mistakes the goalkeeper made. The ones against Cameroon, the last game they played against Algeria, Algeria. We also saw the mistakes they made. Your defense line starts with a goalkeeper. Cerezo will always tell you that. If a goalkeeper cannot control the back line, if a goalkeeper cannot determine how he moves around, how the defenders move around also, they get to score him easily. And of course, corner kicks are very, very key. You don't allow balls to come to your box 6. The last game we saw our goalkeeper wasn't full control. So the point is, we need to, work on that department very well. We need to find a way to give our goalkeepers confidence, to give them, I'm not sure we can bring in anybody now. We know who we have, Zenwa, Uzoho, and then Akpe. And of course, everybody has their own, they have their own faults here and there. They are not complete goalkeepers per se, per one person. So if you bring in a Zenwa, corner kicks and stuff is not that very, you cannot see him come out and punch balls and whatever.
So I Christian Yugenara tonight. Who will you use at the World Cup? Because that's the option. That's what you have. Yeah. You have Ikechukwu Ezenwa, you have Francis Uzo and Daniel Akpe.
Well, I think it also depends on the game we're playing. For example, if we're playing...
No, it's question. The World Cup starts today.
Yes.
Who will be in goal?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I think I'll put Ezenwa. That's what I'll put.
Then it means they need to deal with those deficiencies that he has with the corners.
Exactly. They have to work on it.
As Teresa, you are also a world-class defender. Sometimes when I cover games and I stand at the back of the goalpost, I hear goalkeepers shout at the defenders. Chilavet used to push, knock. So it's very important that we have a commanding and authoritative goalkeeper.
Well, at the moment, I will say we do, but he's not vocal enough. That's a problem. You can't build this in one day. Probably, I think Ezenwa has not played outside the shores of Nigeria. Hopefully, after this World Championship, he gets a chance to, to play straight somewhere else abroad. But what you don't have, you can't give. But there's still a little bit of some time to do about, we're talking about communication, constant communication. Move left, move right, drop, away. Because I was trained in Holland, and there's something we call an axe. When you have a goalkeeper, a good center back, a good defensive mid player, a defensive midfield player, and a good striker, that's a line. Then all the other person on the side doesn't really matter. If we are solid in that line, we don't think we have a problem. Right? Deficiency in Ezenwa, there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to play with him. But what I've said before is the defense needs to be solid, which means there have to be a combination of midfield players with the defensive line. We have every given time we have 8 players behind the ball. And then I think that's the system we should adopt.
Okay, so when I say everyone should watch this show, you think I don't know what I'm talking about. If Coach General was watching now, he'll be taking down notes. And that's coming from an experienced ex-international. Let's go to social media, find out what you guys are talking about. Kalamazu says, let's stop setting quarterfinal target so that we don't get satisfied with ourselves if we achieve that feat. It says, and fail to progress further. We should take each match as it comes and get as far as we can get. Even you two, you're setting the high target also. Olawi Ademola says, the Super Eagles need to work on goalkeeping, on the goalkeeping department. I will need a good free kick taker too. points. Good points. Good points. Son of Grace says, I don't believe Akpeyin deserves to be in a World Cup. Well, you're not Coach General. Ezenwa has shown us the best he has to offer, but still shaky. We need to test Uzor in the friendly matches to know his strength. And that's what Coach General says, test players. And as Cerezo said, the friendly matches will actually provide an opportunity. Why?
Oh, most definitely. That's why you play friendly games, and that's why you want to have even the players you think will fit into your first team. You want them to play friendly games as well. So when we heard the news that Mikel wasn't going to be around, it kind of makes you feel like, you know, you're not getting the real team to play against Poland and the other team they're playing. So all your players must play friendly games, and that's how you can determine whether they're ready or not.
Very, very important.
Yes.
Attila Adelekon says, okay, you're commenting as regards the CAF Confederation Cup and the CAF Champions League. But let's keep the discussion where we are, the 2018 FIFA World Cup, Austin Eguavoen and Wahid Akani are former Super Eagles players, and they've been talking to us. We've been taking a look at the Super Eagles team. We've been taking a look at expectations for the World Cup. What should Coach General and his technical crew do? What should the Super Eagles also do at the World Cup? So the people, the fans, they also matter. What should be the mentality of the Nigerian football fans as well with the World Cup?
Average Nigerian is very passionate when it comes to this round-leader game. And we just hope and pray that the national team of Nigeria Super Eagles will not disappoint our people. First game first, like one of the guys said on Twitter. I've always said as well, first game, if we can go through first 3 points, very, very important, then we can go very far. But if you struggle in the first game, then we have a mountain to climb.
That's right, and that's against Croatia. And the moment you struggle, you know the Nigerian fans, they just turn away and start asking questions. Why it's too early to talk about it, but when we're counting down, the days are going. That group, every way you look at it, is tricky. Very important. Nigeria wins the first game and then sustain the momentum in the second.
Yes, you're very right. I mean, everybody knows it. Every Nigerian that has followed football knows when you go for tournaments, you must get good result for your first game. And as soon as we can do that, then we can then determine how do you get the second round, third round, and what have you. So that first game is very key. And just like you asked right earlier, fans must come out and support the team. No matter what it is, you must come out and support. And that's why we're also flying a lot of people to Russia.
That's right.
To make sure they support.
Very important. Yeah. We must say thank you so much to Wahid Akani. Wahid, before we came into the studio, wasn't so sure about where Nigeria will reach at the World Cup. Tried to sit on the fence. We got here and he said quarterfinals.
Yes,
we gave him some confidence.
I was going to say something. We talk about he didn't play the World Cup. For me, World Cup is World Cup, different level.
Yeah.
Why he played the under-20 World Cup.
The under-20 World Cup.
I did, of course.
So he was at the World Cup. Thank you so much, Wahid.
Yeah,
we'll just give Wahid some break. We'll go on this short break. When we come back, another ex-international will be sitting here to compliment Austin Eguavoen. They were at the World Cup in 1990. For that discussion, we'll get us talking. Don't go anywhere. Stay.